Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Montreal Canadiens franchise mode. So in last episode we had free agency followed by the start of year number 4, I think we're on now. So in free agency we decided we'd go after a goaltender just because we needed one, and we brought in Thatcher Demko, and now that was a bit of a concern because he hadn't really proven himself in Vancouver and doing the greatest here so far in Montreal. It could be because of the penalty kill, because currently the penalty kill is one of the worst in the league. As you can see, he's gone 17, 19, and 1 with an 884 save percentage and a 3.63 goals against average, which is not good at all. Like, our offense has been scoring really good, so I think we just need to basically, at this like kind of close to the trade deadline, bolster up the defense a bit more, and maybe we will actually win more games. So we are going to be making 2 trades in this, at least in this episode. We might make more because we want to make the playoffs with this team while we have the chance, because everybody has pretty much 1 year left on their deal. So we are going to be bringing in a new defenseman for this defensive core, because as you can see right now, it's not the weakest, but it's not definitely not the strongest either. We're going to be trading for somebody that's definitely going to be helping out our penalty kill, and he's more of a veteran presence to bring into the lineup as well. So let's get to this trade. So find trade. It's going to be with the Calgary Flames once again. So this is the second time we've dealt with the Calgary Flames in this GM mode. So as you can see, they have a lot of players on the block. We're not going to be trading for any of these guys, unfortunately, because we don't have really, like, the morale is going to be screwed up if we do. But we are going to be trading for Travis Hamonic. As you can see, he's an 83 overall, 32-year-old. He only has 1 year left on his deal, so he's probably going to drop off soon, but he has some good stats. As you can see, he's got 88 defensive awareness, 90 shot blocking, 90 stick checking, and then he also meets our top 4 defensive pairings, and he also meets the penalty kill lines. So he's a perfect fit for this team, and I think he should do pretty well with us. As you can see, also in Calgary currently, he has 11 points in 49 games. He's only a -6, but maybe if he's given more of a chance to prove himself, he'll be better plus with us. So we're going to be trading for him. So let's add that guy to the asset stuff and find trade. And there's multiple offers that Calgary throws at us. I'm not going to be trading Jesse Alonen, even though I don't think he pans out really that much, because he's like almost a 4th liner at this point. There's also 2 seconds, and then there's Noel Gunler that they could want, and Myzak. So basically, they're wanting a top 6-4 prospect and picks, or they want just 2 second rounders. So we're going to do the 2 second rounders, even though that could be a bit risky because we could miss the playoffs next season. So we got to just think this could help us out in maybe getting us back into the playoffs, because we're only a few points out. So we're going to accept this one and bring in Travis Hamonic. So this is going to put Mackenzie Weegar on waivers, which I don't know if I like. I don't know, is Mackenzie Weegar gone on waivers already then? Because I think what I am going to be doing is keeping Weegar, and then we're going to be trading away Noah Juleson on our defensive core. So if I sort this by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, yeah, as you can see, Juleson's currently a 7th, and he would not like that because of ice time. It's nothing against Noah Juleson, because Noah Juleson has been a pretty solid piece for us. As you can see, few years he's been plus every year, and he's only a -1 this season, despite our team being kind of bad defensively. But we are still going to move him out since he's technically the weak link on this team. So we're going to add an asset to him, and we are going to trade him away for a 3rd and a 4th, because that one's probably the best, I think, still. There's a few other teams offering 3rds and 4ths, but I think I'm going to just go with this one from Anaheim. Hopefully it helps us out a bit, so that way we get some more picks back. So roster moves. What roster moves do I need to make? Did it assign Hamonic to the minors? No, it didn't. Okay, I don't think I need to call up anybody, actually. So I might though make more trades like later in the season, like closer to the deadline. Just right now I want to see how those trades pan out, but I think I might want to try and upgrade Jamel Smith, at least on that fourth line. You know what? Actually, I might try and do that already. So bring in Travis Hamonic, substitute in all lines. He's going to be moved. Do we want? Yeah, maybe Montour and yeah, there we go. Shillington and Petrie, Hamonic and Montour. Hamonic's a defenseman, and then you got Montour, who's a two-way. Then you got an offensive in Killington, and I know it was Shillington, and Petrie, who's more, yeah, defensively minded, but could still put up points offensively. And then you got Mete and Olofsson. So this defensive core looks a lot better, I think, with the addition of Travis Hamonic. It doesn't really make a difference where I put him, but maybe actually let's go like that. Nope, that doesn't do anything. Okay. And then let's see, that should be all for line changes. I'm gonna actually put him on the penalty kill too, but let's just see if there is anything that we could trade after to upgrade that fourth line right wing spot. So let's go to find trade. I know there was Matt Calvert, but Matt Calvert, it was only a guy that could fit our penalty killing units, so he didn't fit our 5-on-5 lines. So let's go to the top team in Anaheim, see if there's anybody that could help us out that's on the block. Daniel Sprong, not really. He's making way too much money and too much term, and he's not going to pan out. Nikushkin, Mikkel Bodker is probably listed as a fourth liner, depth forward, but he's really bad defensively. We want somebody that's good on the defensive core as well. Or, well, not defensive core, but on the defensive side for forwards. So, Brian Gibbons is decent, I think. Oh, Jake Virtanen might be actually perfect. Jake Virtanen, he's not got good defensive awareness, and we don't know if he meets our system, which kind of sucks, but he would be an upgrade from Jamel Smith for sure. You know what, I might still try and trade for him, but he's also with Calgary. Maybe I should have made a bigger deal. Let's see about anybody else, so if there's anyone that could help us out in terms of fourth line right wing spots, make this team a bit better. So Nick Foligno's got 1 year left, but he is a third line scoring forward. He would have been nice if he was like a fourth liner. Anybody else? I don't care if it's a vet though, because vets help out sometimes with young guys. Connolly is not on the block, but he would be interesting to bring in. Third line checking forward. Doesn't fit our system at all though. It's hard to find somebody that exactly matches your system. Like, we might not trade for one, and then we'll see how like this lineup maybe performs, and then we will make a decision to trade for one if not. So Tomasino's in the AHL. Who else we got here? Wayne Simmons. There's some right wingers. Ilya Kovalchuk, third line scoring forward though, and he's not probably good defensively. Ty Ronning, interesting. Philadelphia's got Joel Armia. Well, didn't we just trade Joel Armia there like last season, or we dropped him to free agency? He would actually be like the perfect kind of fit, kind of. Yeah, definitely. Well, actually, the defensive awareness is at an 81, so maybe not. But he would be a pretty good fit because we know we've had him a couple years ago. Tom Kuhnhackl actually might be a kind of guy that we want to bring in. He's good defensively. He's playing in the AHL, but he is technically too good for the AHL. And there's also Brett Ritchie, who's a -7. You know what? Let's try and trade for Tom Kuhnhackl. They're not using Tom Kuhnhackl, and he would be a small upgrade. Wow, that one, third and a 7th. Yeah, I could do that. It's not giving up our first. We're giving up a third round pick for this year, so we're not going to have our second and third. And then we also give up below 17 Flynn. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Upgrade that fourth line right wing spot. And then Jamel Smith is going to be going back to being a depth forward for this team. So Kuhnhackl is probably assigned right away to the minors, which means we're going to have to call him up. So let me edit the lines, guys, and I will see you guys in a second. Okay, guys, so I edited the line. So Tom Kuhnhackl is also going to be playing on the penalty killing unit instead of Connor Brown, because Connor Brown was a minus 15 this year. So I think this penalty killing unit is what was sucking. Also, if I put Hamonic to the top pairing, it gives it +5 and this one the +1, but I would rather kind of balance it out a bit. So overall wise, I think I do like our penalty killing unit look. It looks a lot better right now, but yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with it. Hopefully it performs better than it did at the start of the season. And then also Tom Kuhnhackl is now going to be on our fourth line. He's down to a 78 for some reason, but he still is, I think, a bit of an upgrade defensively in comparison to Jamel Smith. So currently we have McCarron, Weegar, and Jamel Smith all as depth guys. I think it sent down Nick Cousins, the computer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it did. I wouldn't mind still Cousins being in up in the NHL, but I'll leave him scratched down there in the minors for now because we might call him up and then we would send down like Mike McCarron or something instead. Okay, so now that that's done, let's get the season going again. See if we can make the playoffs with those new changes. We are listed as a contender now. We were listed as hopeful before, so hopefully that helps us out and hopefully we could win some games because that would be nice. Like, we started the season off with some good wins, but then we've, like, the last 2 months, I think it's been, we've lost quite a bit of games, so we need to find a way to win games, and we need to do it now, so, especially against Eastern Conference teams. So let's go all the way to this game against Ottawa, see how we play in these games, these few games. There's a good defensive game against St. Louis, and we've lost 2 of our last 3 games, which is not a good sign already. Verbeek and Miners doesn't matter that much. Come on, Montreal, you guys gotta win and play good defensively. There's something bad being a loss again. Maybe Thatcher Demko is the problem, and Brandon Montour gets injured. What a surprise. We get a defensive injury after and make a defensive change. And his team is still not playing good defensively. I do not know what it is. Let me take a look at the lines again. See how those newcomers are playing. Maybe I'll put Connor Brown back on the penalty kill. I don't know what line is playing bad. Okay, so Kuhnhackl's already got an assist in 1 game, so that's a good sign that he's putting up points and he's only a 0 for plus minus. Hamonic is a -8 this season, but that's all mostly in Calgary. He's a -2 with us already. What do I want to do to... Oh, Uyghur on the top pairing. Oh yeah, that's why. Okay, because of... Yeah, it's because of Montour's injury. I thought for some reason though that like they put Uyghur in the lineup. I'm like, what the hell? Let's go back to Demko for a second. Yeah, I don't know what this team's problem is. Like right now, they should be a lot better than they are, I think, because we do have a lot of good veterans. Like even Jonathan Drouin's technically a veteran now. So I don't know why we're not winning games. We're just dropping a lot. It could be because of just the way Demko's been playing, because Demko has like almost a 4 goals against average, which is like really, really bad. And Brandon Montour is back, which is good because we need him, because he's been our best offensively minded defenseman for points at least. And there you go. See if we could get some more wins here. Carey Price in a 4th for Jake Gardner in a 4th. No, thank you. Don't want to take. Oh, that's actually kind of funny. It's not a bad offer. Like if I was actually trying to ship out Carey Price, because when you think about it, both players have 4 years left, but we're getting the same return for term player on the player, except for it's way less money. Like we'd be paying Jake Gardner $5 million less than Carey Price for the next 4 seasons. Huh. Interesting. So we beat Ottawa and we beat Dallas with some good offensive outputs, and Pittsburgh. Nicely done, boys. 1st and a 4th for Svechnikov and Morin. Interesting trade there. Jake Evans has been injured in the minors. Let's go replace player. So we've won 3 in a row. Can we keep this winning streak alive, please? Yolonen Price in a 4 for Pacioretty and Beaulieu. Seriously, Vegas, you know that Montreal used to have Pacioretty and Beaulieu? That's pretty funny. Like, if that happened in real life, that would just be kind of interesting. Like, people seeing Carey Price getting traded for one of their former players in Pacioretty. So we beat Washington as well. So we are on a 4-game winning streak, which is a good sign. This team is starting to win games. Let's take a look at the standings once it pops up on the side, just to see where we are with that nice 5-game winning streak. So we are still 3 points back at that last playoff spot in our division. This is going to be a tight one down to the race. Like, we might just barely miss the playoffs, or we might just barely make the playoffs like we did last season, I think, actually. Or no, it wasn't last season. It was the season before. I don't care about Verbeek that much. Let's see if we can keep the winning streak alive. Yes, we do. 6 games in a row. No, I do not want Scott Darling. Game against Tampa Bay. 7 wins in a row. Now this team is performing. I think I made some good changes to the lineup. We'll tell at the end of the season with how good the players' stats are. Game against Buffalo, but there's a big trade. Holy, that is a big trade. Wenberg, a 3rd and a 5th, have been sent to to Anaheim from Columbus for Sprong, a 2nd and a 4th. So that's a pretty major deal. Interesting. We're not going to look at all the trades around the league for this season, just because we're kind of low on time due to the trades that I made at the beginning. So Sonny Milano and David Savard have been sent to Philadelphia for 1st to 4th, and D. Steckel, maybe a David Steckel as well. Interesting. So we lose to Buffalo to end our winning streak, but we are above 500, which is good. Last 2 games before the trade deadline. So Robert Thomas and a 2nd have been sent to Anaheim for Wenberg and a 3rd. So Wenberg's dealt twice at the same deadline. Interesting. He heads from Columbus to Anaheim, St. Louis. So we lose to New Jersey, so back-to-back losses and bad defensive games. That's not good, especially after that nice winning streak. So Jake Evans back into the lineup down there in the minors. So Peltier is up to an 80, so he's NHL ready next season if we want him to, which is good. So 31, 30, and 1 at the trade deadline. Let's just take a look at the standings quickly. How are we situated? So we are only 3 points back of the Tampa Bay Lightning and only 1 point back of the New York Islanders. So right now we're in a good spot, but we want to keep winning games, especially against these Eastern Conference opponents. Just win games in general. So let's get this month of March done and see if we could make the playoffs. If we miss it just barely, it's not the end of the world. I think the year that I'm thinking of when we just barely missed is when we got Alexis Lafreniere, or Lexi Lafreniere. You guys say it's Alexi, not Alexis, because Alexis is like the English way of saying it, but French people always say Alexi. So there's 2 more wins. Good job, boys. We need those wins down the stretch, of course. Yeah, so Peltier will probably be in the lineup next season, I think. And then Yolonen might be, which means we might have to let go of quite a few players in the offseason. I don't know who still. That will be up to you guys. There's 3 straight wins, and Svechkovsky's been injured in the minors, and there's 4 straight wins. Now we're winning games, and we are in the last playoff spot currently. I think those trades might have helped us, but will it help us go for 2 straight cups? I don't know. Hopefully Juleson does good in Anaheim. There's another win, and Svechkovsky is back into the lineup. I think he was instead of Pizzetto, right? Or no, it was Verbeek. Yeah. So Svechkovsky into the lineup. There you go. There's an overtime loss, so at least we got a point. Game against Columbus is a regulation loss, so we are still in the first wildcard spot now. Yeah, this is going to come down to like the last few games if we can make it, because we got a lot of Eastern Conference games coming up. Come on, boys. Another week. Another win, please. And Shillington has been injured. That's not good, so we'll replace him. But we beat the Islanders, and we lose in overtime to Colorado. And we beat Detroit. This team is doing a lot better down the stretch. Like, since we made those trades, we've been winning quite a bit of games. And we're now 38, 32, and 3. Okay, let's go all the way to the first. This is a big stretch of games. All 4 of them are Eastern Conference games. Game against Toronto is a loss. Not good. Shillington is back, which means we're going to take Uyghur out of the lineup. Yeah, there we go. Uyghur out of the lineup. Shillington back in. Game against the Flyers. Noah Gelmer wasn't injured. Is a 3-0 loss, not good, and a loss to Boston. Now we're kind of falling off a bit, and we beat Ottawa, though. We're only 2 points back in that last spot, so we're out of a playoff spot now, but we got 5 games left this season. Yikes, this is coming down to the wire. Hopefully we just barely make it if that is the case. I don't know what I want to do, if I want to change the lines. I don't think so. So currently, have to face off against who do we, like, for the last 5 games? Like, is any of them, like, really big matchups? Game against Pittsburgh, and they are way out of the playoffs. The New York Rangers are out of the playoffs. The Blackhawks are they out of the playoffs? Nope, they are the best team in the Central Division. The Bruins are in the playoffs, the second best in our division, and the Sens are out of a playoff spot. So hopefully we could win all these games that are against teams that are out of the playoffs, and then at least put up a fight against those teams that are. So here we go. Let's do 2 games. Pittsburgh and Rangers both out of the playoffs, and we win them both. It's good. We are still out of a playoff spot, though, I think. Let me just check, because that calendar takes too long to go around. So we are 1 point back of the Florida Panthers with the same amount of games played. Oh, it's going to come down to that last game, probably. Okay, so we got to beat these teams, like the tough teams. So the best team in the Central, can we beat them in the Chicago Blackhawks? And we lose in overtime. So, I mean, it's a point, but we are still 2 points back of a playoff spot. So that's probably going to hurt us. Now we got to beat one of the best divisional opponents. Let's see if we can beat Boston. I don't care about Cameron Hillis. And we lose 5-3, which means our playoff chances are over. We have been eliminated from playoff contention just barely because of, those last 2 games. Wow, okay, that sucks. I mean, it was a little good season. Like, we kind of put up a fight, but we fell 2 points short, shy of the Tampa Bay Lightning, who had the last wildcard spot. Damn, that really blows. With 88 points, missing the playoffs. Well, I mean, at least we put up a fight trying to repeat for our Stanley Cup. Let's take a look at the player stats for the season, and we'll take a look at the standings, see if anything improved a lot. And then that'll be, well, we'll sim up to the draft as well, even though this episode is kind of running a little bit long again. So let's go by centers to start it off. So Morgan Frost, 62 points this season. Definitely a great piece. I think he's going to be on the top 6 next year. Yeah, he's had some good seasons for us. Kakaniemi, 56 points. Yeah, Jesperi Kakaniemi kind of fell off a cliff a bit. 72 points down to 56. If he would have produced more, maybe we would have made the playoffs. Domi, 53 points. He also fell off a bit. Suzuki, 47, so he's getting better. Paline, 39 points. Jamel Smith, 9 points in 48 games. Left wing wise, Jonathan Drouin, 64 points in 82 games. Lafreniere, 56 points in 82 games. And Lehkonen on that 4th line and power play had 33 points. In terms of right wingers, Gallagher, 62 points in 70 games. Connor Brown, 44 points. Yeah, a lot of these guys kind of dropped off considerably in production. Like from Connor Brown from 71 to 44, that's not good. And a plus 17 to a minus 16. Yeah, it seems like a lot of guys are just starting to slow down in production. Cole Caulfield had 42 points in his first season. Liking that, he's probably going to be on the top 6 next year. Yeah, maybe. Kuhnhackl had 8 points in 34 games total this season. And it was all with us. And he was a +1, so he did do pretty decent for a new pickup. Not sure if worth what we gave up, but still not bad. 9 points, Shillington 23. Hamnick had 21 points this season, and he was a +8 with us, so that was a pretty good pickup. He definitely gave us a chance to actually win games, and he also had a shorthanded goal with us too. So definitely a good pickup in Travis Hamonic. I don't know if he'll be coming back for next season, but he was definitely a good penalty kill fit for us. Victor Mete, 18 points, Olsen, 10 points, and Uyghur, 2 points. Goaltending wise, Demko had a winning record and his goals against went down a bit, but still not a good performance from Thatcher Demko. And then Carey Price was pretty solid by comparison. Any assists for them? Yes, one for Demko. Okay, one thing I also want to check is the entire league for points, and I also want to check Anaheim in specific, see how Noah Juleson did in Anaheim. So Noah Juleson had 10 points this season. Looks like they were using him as a depth forward. Yeah, they never played him. That's weird that they wanted to trade for him. They just wanted a depth guy, I guess, going into the playoffs if they are in a playoff situation. So let's take a look at the entire league for points. Yeah, I actually might not sim up to the draft yet. I don't know. Because this episode's kind of like at 27 minutes. So Kane led the league with 111 points, followed by Eichel, Marner, and Giroux. A lot of over 100-point players. Even Nathan McKinnon again. Most goals this season was by Patrick Kane with 61, followed by some 21-year-old Magnus Olander, who had 58 goals. Jeez. In terms of defensemen, who led in defensemen, it was Erik Karlsson with 84 points in 77 games. Pretty good. Goaltending-wise, the best goalie is Carter Hart this season. 7 shutouts at 917 save percentage and a 2.47 goals against average. And then the best rookie this season is going to be Valery Denisov for the Carolina Hurricanes. Interesting. He was a 5th-round pick. Wow. Low elite guy. That's interesting. He even beat out the franchise guy that was from last year. Huh. Cole Caulfield was 3rd in rookie points, which is pretty nice. So that is that, and yeah, let's take a look at the standings since we haven't done that yet. So yeah, we probably won't sim up to the draft, but I'm gonna show you guys the contracts so you can know who's up for renewal, and then you can let me know who I should re-sign and who I shouldn't, because it's gonna be a very tough offseason in terms of that. So in terms of the entire league standings, we were probably like 16th, right? We were 18th or 19th, yeah. But we just barely missed out on that 16th playoff spot, which really sucks. So goals for per game, we were pretty good still, 3.17. I think our offense got better as the season progressed, but it still didn't do that good, as our goals against was still one of the worst, but it definitely improved once we added Travis Hamonic, because I think it was like 3rd worst the last episode, and now it's like in the middle. And then in terms of our power play did not perform up to our standards, 18.1%, which is closer to the bottom. And in our penalty kill, it improved as well, 80.5%. I think it was at 78% or something last time, 76%. It was really low, but it definitely improved with the addition of Hamonic. We also had 9 shorthanded goals for, which we had 1, I think, in last episode only. So we were one of the best shorthanded teams in terms of goals. And we were good on the road, but we weren't good on home ice. Okay, so I think, yeah, we'll take a look at the progress reports as well. Yeah, this episode's going to be like 30 minutes because of those trades. I apologize, guys, for that. Sports, and then we'll take a look at those contracts, and then that'll be it for this episode. Well, actually, I'll show you guys the draft class again, too, because there's so much to do in this. Let's go to the AHL because that matters more. So, any guys up there in overall? So, Peltier and Yolonen probably will be in the NHL next year. As for other players, Carson Lambos is getting close. He might be in the AHL next year, depending on how he grows during the off season. Gunler's growing nicely. Yeah, we're getting some good growth in the system, which is good. How about goaltending wise? So Zubov still has not grown at all, which is a concern. McEachern, is ready for the AHL almost at this point, which is good. Sepanen, our elite goaltending prospect, he had a solid season, not the greatest season in, I think it's in Finland. But he is growing. He was a 60 something last year, and now he's a 67. Murley and Albert. Okay. So yeah, let's take a look at the draft class, and then we'll also take a look at the contract situation, and then that'll be it for this episode. So make sure you let me know who you want me to go after and stuff like that down below in the comments. Helps out a lot. So Voutilainen is supposed to go first, or no, he's looking like he's going to go second. It's hard to tell who's the definitive number one at this point, but here is the draft class. So we're going to be getting one of those guys because we're in the lottery, probably. Let's take a look if there's any gems. Let's see, any gems? No gems. At least none that I could see. Okay, so let's go to view contracts just so you guys could see who's up for renewal this season. There's quite a bit of players. So all expiring, as you can see, we have these guys that are all UFAs. So let me know who you to let go of and who to keep. So Domi, Drouin, Gallagher, Connor Brown, Hamonic, Montour, and Petrie. So basically, all those UFAs are like top 6 forwards or top 4 defensemen. So it's gonna be tough to see who we want to keep and who we don't. And then also we have Shillington as an RFA, Lekkonen's a UFA this season, Mete's an RFA, Olofsson's a UFA, Yolonen, McCarron, Jamel Smith, and all that stuff are all UFAs. So we don't have a whole lot of RFAs to deal with except for AHL guys. But let me know who you think we should let go of and who we should keep out of those guys, because it's going to be a tough one to decide. And I don't know how much cap space we're going to have. And then also in terms of goaltending, Thatcher Demko is up for renewal, and Dan Vladar, but Dan Vladar is an AHL goalie. So yeah, Demko probably won't come back because of his horrific season, but we'll probably find somebody else that could replace him. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Montreal Canadiens franchise mode. So in next episode, we will have the off season, and we will see where we're drafting. We'll draft. We'll figure out trying to get this roster back to being a playoff contending team, because right now I feel like this team is going to go back into a rebuilding state with all the one-year contracts that are ending. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time.